Hello and welcome to Weekly Stock News. Today we will be reviewing the world stock market during the period of 12 and 16 November 2018. First, let's start with the latest news from Mitsubishi Motor Corporation in Tokyo Stock Exchange. The detail will be explained by Madiha Ramlan.
The origin of Mitsubishi goes back to 1870s when the founder Yatoro Iwasaki started a shipping firm with the three aging steamships. Yatoro brother, son and nephew expanded the business into various fields during their respective term as president and set the foundation of the Mitsubishi company itself. The company operates in automobile segment. The company is engaged in the manufacture of general and small size passenger vehicle, mini vehicle and sport utilities vehicle, as well as the prospection and maintenance of new vehicle in the domestic market. The company also engaged in the production and sale business in overseas markets such as Thailand and Malaysia. They also engage in the financing in business, including automobile leasing and sales finance. The amount of share traded in the stock trading unit is 100 unit and the share traded up to 5.22 million. As you can see in the graph show that the current share price between 12 November to 16 November 2018 for Mitsubishi Motor Corporation. Share price in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. On 12 November, the opening price market in Tokyo Stock Exchange is 755.0 yen and closed by 762 yen. Next, on the 30th November, the price dropped down to 752 yen and closed by 736 yen. November, the market downfall to 738 yen and it's closed by 733 yen. On 15 November 2018, Mitsubishi Motor Corporation having a loss on opening market price, dropping by 728 yen and it's closed by 726 yen. As you can see, by 16 November, the share price is a rise to 739 yen and it's good for the for the market itself. That's all for Mitsubishi Motor Corporation stock. And now we'll move on to Alina for the Apple stock market.
Apple Incorporation is an American multinational technology company headquartered in Cupertino, California that designs, develops and sells consumer electronics, computer software and online services. The company's products include the iPhone, the iPad tablet and the Mac personal computer. Started in the garage of co-founder Steve Jobs in 1976, Apple has pushed its revenue beyond the economic outputs of Portugal, New Zealand and other countries. Along the way, it has changed how consumers connect with one another and how businesses conduct daily commerce. Apple's worldwide annual revenue totaled $265 billion for the 2018 fiscal year. Apple is the world's largest information technology company by revenue and the world's third largest mobile phone manufacturer after Samsung and Huawei. In August 2018, Apple became the first public US company to be valued at over $1 trillion. On November 12, Apple shares dropped by 5% on Monday alone after one of its suppliers, Lumentum, said one of its largest customers reduced shipments. The company makes 3D sensing lasers used in Apple's Face ID technology. Apple stocks closed at a downfall of 194.17, dropping 10.3 points. The Nasdaq stock markets plunged on Monday as record drop in shares of Apple and investors' confidence. The Nasdaq Composite Index closed at 7,200.87, dropping 2.8% or 206.03 points. The stock dropped 2.8% to the lowest price since July 5th on November 14th, closing at 186.8. That took Apple's market capitalization below $900 billion for the first time since May. Notably, the stock is hovering around bear market territory. Precipitous fall of tech behemoth Apple's share and conflicting news from trade front also made investors skeptical about investing in risky assets like equities. The Nasdaq Composite Index closed at 7,136.39, dropping 0.98%. However, on November 15th, Apple stocks keeps bouncing after analysts says investors should buy the dip. Apple stock's price closed at an increase of 191.141 and 193.53 on November 16th, advancing 2.12. Nasdaq ended the day lower, led by a decline in chip maker stocks. The tech-heavy Nasdaq lost 11.16 points. The Nasdaq Composite Index closed at 7,247.87, losing 0.2%. Saira now estimates that iPhone unit sales will fall 5% over year in Apple's current fiscal 2019. That compares with flat unit sales growth in fiscal 2018. Moreover, we see growing rates of even softer iPhone unit demand, with downside in China, India and other emerging markets, where Apple may need to start considering lower price points. If the trade issue between US and China is not resolved in the next couple of weeks, Apple stock could again face a big problem. So, why is Apple's overnight action notable? Apple, as a member of the Nasdaq Composite, has been a huge factor in the stock's market recent retreat. When Apple stock tries to rally, so do the major averages. When Apple hits lower, so does the market. So at this delicate stage, investors should keep a close eye on Apple's stock.
Okay, that's news for Apple. So now we're gonna hear from Samsung.
Thank you, Alina, for the information. And next, we're going to move to Samsung Electronics. Samsung Electronics was founded in 1969 and quickly became a major manufacturer in the Korean market. During this initial period of growth came from the whole electronic business, the company began exporting its product for the first time. Samsung Electronics also required a 50% stake in Korean Semiconductor, further solidifying Samsung Electronics' position as the leader in semiconductor manufacturing. With the success of their business, Samsung has been recognized globally as an industry leader in technology. The company operates through following business divisions such as Consumer Electronics, Information Technology and Mobile Communication and Device Solution. Consumer Electronics Business Division provides cable television, monitor, printer, air conditioner, refrigerator, washing machine and digital camera. The Information Technology and Mobile Communication Business Division offer hand-held products, communication system, computer and digital camera. Currently, amount value of traded share in Samsung is 87.7. It is quite slightly dropped from the previous year. For the preferred share, it is 12.3%. It's quite similar from the last year, and the treasury share is 7.2. Thank you. On 12 November 2018, in Korea exchange market, Samsung shows that the opening stock is 43,815. The closing market is 45,200. The number of between opening and closing is slightly increased from the previous date. Thus, from 13 November 2018, the number of opening stock is 43,900 and the closing market is 44,500. This shows that the number of market is increased, even though the last date shows that the number is increased from the 3rd November 2018. On 14 November 2018, the opening market is 44,500 and the closing market is 44,100. It shows that the numbers of closing is slightly dropped by 400,000 Korean won. On the 15 November 2018, the opening stock market in Korean exchange market shows that the number of opening is 44,050 Korean won and the closing is 44,215. The number of stock is dropping by 150 Korean won. And lastly, on the 16 November 2018, the number of opening is 44,600 and the closing is 4,600. Basically, we can see that all the stock in that day, in that week, shows that the Korean stock exchange, the Korean stock price is basically decreasing from the previous week. One of the big topics this year has been whether technology stock could continue their leadership of the stock market as they did in 2017.
But they have seen some wobbles this year because the factor of including the trade between China and US, Samsung has far worse than Disney with its more than 11% decline this year by making it one of the most performing in technology in 2018.
Thank you, Naja Ainis, for the information. Moving on to the Sime Darby Berhad. Sime Darby Berhad is a Malaysia-based investment holding company managing by Sime Darby Group. Obviously, in 1910, William Middleton Sime, Henry D. Easter Darby, and Herbert Milford Darby founded Sime Darby and Company in Malacca. Until then, 2017, the transformation of Sime Darby Berhad from a conglomerate to 3 independent entities, Sime Darby Plantation Berhad, Sime Darby Property Berhad, and Sime Darby Berhad. And until then, the Sime Darby keep making history in Malaysia. The group's major business activities are classified into 6 segments. The first one is the motor segment, which covers the assembly and distribution of the vehicles and the provision after-sales service. Number 2, the plantation segment includes the production of crude palm oil, palm kernel, rubber, sugarcane, cattle products, as well as the refining of palm oil. Number 3 is the industrial segment, is involved in the trading, rental and servicing of heavy equipment. Number 4, property segment, which comprises the development of residential, commercial and industrial properties together with the management and provisions of recreational facilities. Number 5, the energy and utilities segment includes the provision of engineering services, the management of port facilities, and the treatment and distribution of the treated water. The sixth one is the other segment, which covers the healthcare and insurance services. Moving on to the current exchange rate of Sime Darby. During the 12th and 13th November, the stock exchange rate of Sime Darby Berhad maintained the same, which are 2.4 Malaysia ringgit, but slightly fall in 14 November to 2.38 Malaysia ringgit. The worst fall down in these weeks are 2.36 Malaysia ringgit in 15 November, but directly improved to 2.4 in the 16th November. And then comparing to the average stock market in Bursa Saham Malaysia, the Sime Darby exchange rate are quite low, where in 12 and 13 November, the stock exchange rate in Bursa Saham Malaysia maintained the same, which are 7.2 Malaysia ringgit, but slightly increased in 14 November to 7.21 Malaysia ringgit. In 15 November, it fell to 7.2 Malaysia ringgit, but directly improved to 7.26 Malaysia ringgit in 16 November. The current trade value is 18 million ringgit and plus. When the comparison is made, it is highly possible that Sime Darby Stock Exchange highly dependent on the Bursa Saham Malaysia, because a slight decrease in the stock will affect Sime Darby as well. Brexit represents the theme of a risk market currently, where Bursa Saham Malaysia also is in the risk due to the tensions of the economy before and after the Malaysia general elections 2018, which also brought up the instability in political in Malaysia. And the economy fell down hard due to the rumors of Malaysia high amount of debt due to the government management become the first factor of the economy downfall. This directly shows the high risk of Malaysia market and bring less confidence of foreign investors to Malaysia. Second factor are the palm oil prices are affected too by the movement of other edible oils that compete in the global vegetable oils market, which is one of the reasons on why the Sime Darby Berhad stock also fall, because the Sime Darby plantations are dealing with the palm oil prices that drop. Thank you, that's all from me, and moving on to Nur Afifa for the next current stock market.
Let me tell you about history background of company. Ping An Insurance is a company of China, was established in Shekou, Shenzhen 1988. In the past decade, Ping An has invested more than 50 billion renminbi in technology development. With the support of government at all levels, regulatory authorities, customers and the society, Ping An has grown into one of the 3 major integrated finance conglomerates in China. The nature of business, Ping An Insurance engaged in the provision of financial products and services. It operates through insurance, banking and investment. I've been checking Ping An Insurance in stock market for the week 12 November until 16 November 2018. Opening price for Ping An Insurance on 12 November was 64.40 yuan and closed at 64.66 yuan. on 30 November was opened at 63.78 yuan and closed at 65.01. On 14 November, the market opened at 65.05 yuan and closed at 63.95 yuan, showed a decrease in the market. But on 15 November, the market opened at 64.00 yuan and closed at 65.110 yuan. Last date for the week observed on 16 November was opened at 65.00 yuan and closed at 65.23 yuan. The value of traded shares is on 16 November 2018, which is 65.23 yuan. The market was increased through whole week, but only on 14 November, it faced a decreased amount. Even though only one day that showing decreasing amount, yet Ping An still show a good performance for the whole week observed. This is because Chinese users can benefit choosing the best medical plan by using Ping An Good Doctor, which together with Bangkok District Medical Services providing overseas healthcare solutions. Also makes Ping An listed in top 9 insurers in China.
And that wraps up with the stock market news for today. I am Normadi Haramlan. Thanks for investing your time with us.